Well, good morning again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt with the American Orthodontic Society, and I'm going to talk about bruxism. There's two cases here. There's a different reason for them bruxing. One of them is their lower jaw is trapped back and he's having temporomandibular joint problems, and he ground the front teeth off here, trying to get the teeth to move, get the lower jaw to move forward and get the condyle off of this retrodiscal tissue. This case that we will show here is something that just a young man who bruxed in high school. You know, he played football. He was quite a football player, and he and his brother-in-law went to SMU on a scholarship. Actually, his brother-in-law was pretty famous over at SMU too. In fact, he was the main one. Now, anyway, this type of bruxism is somebody that gets up and exposed to tension and problems, and so that they're going to grind their teeth together. And I talked to another guy who developed into a dentist or became a dentist, and he knew this man while they were in high school together. And he said he ground his teeth like that just all the time. I mean, nearly about all the time. Now let's take a look at the teeth. Let me get this going again here. All right, nice looking guy, just everything, no problem at all. He's up a builder and does work like that. He went to SMU here and played ball there. Now you can see when he was playing the ball back in high school, he was still grinding the teeth like this. Now you got in teeth, if you rub a tooth against a tooth, in other words, you're cutting a tooth with a tooth, you can grind the tooth off. Now here I am, soon be 96 years old, and these teeth are long. I never have, and I've chewed everything that went along and ate all sorts of stuff, but nothing real gritty, like that. But I didn't just grind them together like he apparently has done. And he just ground the teeth down to where the enamel was just left the edge, and it would cut the dentin out first. We'll look straight at him here in a minute. And his family had been in. I straightened he had two kids in the family, and we straightened their teeth, and also his wife. And they must have twisted his arm to come in and get this done. And so you got to put something on here that you rub teeth against that doesn't grind them down. Now, if you got a porcelain crown, the porcelain is kind of like a wet rock. It'll grind the tooth down and probably not grind the porcelain clock. It's kind of like the bar or something of a grindstone that you sharpen the knives on, something. Now, these teeth ground off, and you can see the dentin structure and also where the nerve canal was. Let me erase that line so you can look down in there. It looks like where the nerve was, that it receded over a period of time and had added enamel or dentin to this area and closed it up. The teeth were still vital, and he ground them off. The cuspids are ground just a little bit, but not near like the centrals up here. Now, he had some crowns and stuff done before he came into me, and all he was wanting to do was to get this part fixed up here. And this is a central, and this is a lateral, and the cuspid back here, and all of them were ground out to some extent. And they got down there where they're more narrow, and we put some, restored that with teeth that fills all the gaps and everything up. All right, this is up close. You can see enamel is around the edge. And enamel is a very hard material, but still we showed that in where acid can eat this enamel and the dentin away. It just completely eat it. That we showed on acid reflux problem. And so that's something you got to get this valve fixed coming out of the stomach, because you can't hardly fix your teeth to match this. Now, all right, the bottom teeth, he elected not to do anything to them, but the enamel in these teeth was coming up in there and grinding away, and we had more grinding material, effect on the top than we did on the bottom. Now the next case we're going to show us more on the bottom and very little on the top. It was a total different type of grinding probably there. All right. Now here's the models that he had. This was 97, and where he ground that off. Now what we had to do, we wanted to find out where the bite closed to. If you make the teeth too long, you'll pop together when you close up here. So you have to go in and work on this like a closed bite case. Actually it is. The teeth just have worn down, and this makes the chin down here further. So we're going to open that up, and you don't want to open it too much. You'll have his teeth popping together when he talks. Now this is nothing but an acrylic that's tooth colored, and we just made a big lump out of this and put it on the front of these teeth. We bonded it to the teeth from the backside like a little, and it had a bite plate back there. And we just took a spoon while this was soft and went around and made it look like teeth, look like that, and fixed it up and ran it back here. Now we've got the teeth open back here in the back part of the mouth. Now if this guy has a bad TMJ problem, you couldn't just leave this open, but he did this, and he was able to chew on this front part, which puts a lot of force on the disc back here, but his disc was apparently very, very tough, and it didn't bother us working on that. If he had that, we'd had to put some blocks back in the back to support that area, but we didn't do that. But this is an intruding arch now. This, you have one arch wire coming around like this, a small flexible wire, and this one comes down deep, and you raise it up and hook it, and it pushes these teeth down and opens this gap in here, and we build these teeth down at a certain height. And I think we didn't get it quite where we wanted it first. Let me see. We came back and added some additional material down here. You see the different line. And so that made these teeth a little bit longer in this area. There's the cuspid. All this is just a bond of this. And we went with that and found out that he could stand that much length of this without popping his teeth together all the time when he talks or eats. And we got this bringing the bottom teeth down. All these teeth are coming down, leveling this out. And what pushes this down pushes these up. And so they'll be coming in contact back here pretty quick when you put this on. Now let's go on in here. This is just another model box, and that shows you the intruding arch. It's pushing the lower teeth down, but we didn't go in and fix the lower teeth, everything. Now in this acrylic, we just bite down in here, and that opens this up and makes a little shelf where these bottom teeth were hitting. And we found out the distance we needed for the mouth in that fashion. And now we will go in and get him just like we want him. And we'll send him into a restorative dentist, and they'll put some crowns up there. Now, what we wanted in the upper teeth was something that was like gold. Is really good for teeth to chew against, because it doesn't wear the teeth hardly any, and the gold doesn't wear very much either, but they slip past one another, and you can grind on them and it doesn't bother anything very much. Now this, he didn't want anything done on the lower arch, so that's why it's open. So I sent the guy into a restorative dentist, and he comes in and puts this wax material, and he cuts these teeth down now where he can put crowns on them. It just makes little posts out of them like this, you know, and now he can put the crown on this, and this part of the crown will be made out of gold, and he'll also make a bite plate back in here out of gold, and then he'll have these separated, and I'll show you that in just a minute here. All right. Now looking at that, he got the teeth where the permanent teeth are fitting in this groove. Now he'll also take this now, but keep this will be poured up in when he shapes this crown out in wax, and they'll have this same place here, but they'll section this, and then they shape that up into teeth and build it so that this will fit over the teeth and have gold on the inside, and then they'll cast that and bond and cement it in place. Now here's the teeth after he cast the teeth and the enamel wax, and then he poured it up in gold on the backside, and then put porcelain on the outside of the teeth. It's real touchy work. It's the lab men are very good at that, and they've got a nice color for these teeth. And we've got this down where they're closing against that, and now we've got this fixed out so we can get that height right there. And he doesn't bang these teeth together. They're not too long, and in other words, you made them as long as you could to give them a little more open bite in here, and brought these molars up. These came up as these went down, see right there. Now we'll see, take that, he sends this back, and you take a look at it, it's good and everything, so they're made that way. Now this is the back side of the lingual side of the teeth, and this was the same thing that was in that wax that we had there. Now he bites in here, and the lower teeth hit this, and he chews with the lower teeth hits here. But this gold does not wear down the teeth. If he had this porcelain period up here, like so, if it's a solid tooth, this is like a whetstone. It's a lot smaller, but it'll grind the teeth out over a period of time. But the gold material, and this was done quite a few years back, and this guy still has these teeth, and they look good, and he's biting right into this area, and it's not wearing the lower teeth down either at that time. So here we come in, and the lower teeth, they're fitting up in there, but we did not try to come in and fix those up or crown all these, but we left it where he could come in and crown all these teeth if he wanted to, and have them fit against the upper teeth like they are there. So here's the gentleman after the teeth are made down there, and when he just relaxes his lip or something, or opens his mouth, you can see teeth, and he never could see that while he was in high school, they wore down, and I'm sure college football, they wore down some more, but hopefully they would wear a mouth guard to support those, keep from banging your jaw together when you get hit. But when he smiles, you see the teeth. And so he's a better looking guy. I see he's got hearing aids in there too. And so this is a situation where we have done a restorative work. You worked with a restorative man to do something like this. And that's where we ought to be. In other words, you depend on somebody else to come in and do the crowns and all that kind of work. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to close up now, and we will sign off and see you again. I hope you join our group, and I'll go ahead and close this. And then can't get it.